Alright, good Friday afternoon to you. Just afternoon on Friday. Welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. How y'all? Good to see you. Well, I haven't made a video in a couple days. Work does that sometimes to get you kind of beat down and no real time to mess with stuff. But we're going to get one going with something I find a little interesting today. I went digging through my razor stuff and I found an old Star double-edged razor. And this one you can definitely tell it's been used a time or two before. But it's really neat. It's got a kind of an interesting textured handle there. As a matter of fact, at one time I had a Star single edge that had this style handle on it. I've since passed it on to somebody else that was just getting started. I think before I even realized it was a matching set with this one. Text message. I'll get back with you. So here we go. So it's kind of neat. The base plate here, you can see that it's got the little notches where the pins go through. The pins have little notches on the bottom for lining everything up. Well, you can see it pretty good there, I think. So that's how Star did it. And it's just a three-piece razor. It's you know, pretty interesting. I haven't shaved with it in a while. It's been a lot of my stuff is packed down because I've got a little apartment and I never really got around to unpacking everything. It's cluttered enough as it is, trust me. So we're going to take the dollar store blade out of the old Super Speed I used the other day. And it's this is how I do it, and other people may do it different with three-piece razors. I just put the blade down on the head where everything lines up. And we'll drop the base plate on top of that. And last but certainly not least, we'll come down with the handle. And then on all these razors, the older stuff especially, I like to take a peek and make sure that the blade gaps are lining up, or the blade exposure and everything looks really good on this razor. So, you know, some of the olds, the blade was made for those heavier three-hole blades, and the newer blades actually can move around, so you have to be sure they're good and centered. This one, they usually line up really good, and it did again this time. So that's always nice to get an old razor like that back in shape where we can get a shave out of it. We're going to use my Semogue 1406, I think it is, that's starting to really lose the paint's chipping, really starting to. I'm not sure how old this brush is. I got it as a gift. It was already used, and I've had it for a number of years now. But it's starting to show some wear there. We're going to use Colgate. This is the old Colgate Barbershop soap. I've seen ads from this from 1917, so they've been making it a long time, up until when they stopped making Colgate soap. But I don't know how old this particular cake is. I've got several of them that I got probably off eBay at some time, but it's a really neat soap. They've got the barbershop soap, you had the cup soap, and you had the mug soap, which was the last ones that were made. And I really can't tell a lot of difference in any of them as far as the use. It's just a really good vintage, just a soapy smelling soap. There's no real scent. And we've got it in a made in Germany scuttle that we're not actually using as a scuttle today because I soaked the brush in the sink. And to finish everything up today, Citrus Musk. Really good, one of what we would call the old barbershop scents. And it's a really good scent. I really enjoy it. It's probably my second or third favorite, along with Clubman Musk, and then the Pinaud Clubman is on the top of the list, along with the Lustrous Coachman, which is basically the same stuff, made by the same company, just different name apparently. Dark roast chicory. Coffee du monde today. Because people sometimes ask about that. So, let's get going here. I've got to do my afternoon running around since I'm off work. We're going to shave about I don't know, call it a day and a half growth, something like that. Seemed like I shaved, well, I know I did. I shaved early yesterday morning, like 4:30 in the morning, because I had an early shift. And so there we go, about a day and a half. The old crazy bristles there on the old Semogue 1406. Not sure where the crazy bristles come from, but they work really well. And it's a smaller knot, so it works good in a little scuttle here. Now I haven't used this soap in a little while, so it's nice and dried out. And you'll notice there's no need for blooming. Don't bloom your soaps. No need. Don't be a bloomer. Don't do it. Just don't do it. We're gonna get our paste loaded up here. Yeah. That ought to be plenty. These old Semogue boar brushes are pretty nice. Someone was talking about brushes the other day, and they were talking about getting a boar brush, and the Omegas make a really good boar also. I love my big Omegas. I've got a couple of brushes that have the big, what is that, the 98 knot, professional knot, whatever they call it. I've got a couple of brushes that use those knot in different handles, and they're really, really nice. But these Semogue boar brushes are nice also. Portugal, if I remember correctly. I've got 3 of these. I've got this 1406. I've got a 208. I don't believe they make this one anymore. And my all-time favorite right now of the where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Of the boar brushes is my 1305. That is just a wonderful little boar brush there. So if you're looking at boar brushes, which are my favorites, I'd say give Semogue a try. If you want a really big, heavy duty, get the Omega. A lot of people like the Omega knots, they don't like the Omega handles. And that's why they harvest the knot out of them and put them in the other handles. So there we go, with a star, double edge, with a dollar store blade on use 2. It was new when I put it in the super speed for the All in the Family shave the other day. So this is use number 2 on this blade. And again, you know, don't get too tied up with blades. Excuse me. We don't edit around here, so sometimes you get a cough. All right. This is a rather on the mild feeling side razor. Not a lot of blade feel. Always been a really good razor though. They also have what they called the I think it was the Model 100 maybe, and it had a round handle on it, but I think it's pretty much the same head as this razor is. I'm not an expert on Star double-edged razors, but that's how I remember. It's pretty much the same head, a little bit different handle. I have one of those. I'll dig it out and do a shave with it before too long too. Although the one I have is definitely user grade. Looks really, really rough. So starting to cool off down here, which is great. Having some cooler nights. We had a rainy, little cool front come through and had a rainy afternoon and night into the next morning the other day. No real big issues. I can probably get out and start squirrel hunting for too long. I used to be really big. Opening weekend of squirrel season came around, I didn't miss it. But, you know, the skeeters get bigger every year, seems like. And I've mentioned it before. I mean, they got skeeters out there that look like hummingbirds. So I've gotten into the habit of usually waiting until it cools down some. And it gives all the, I mostly hunt on public land. And it gives a lot of people, they'll come out and hunt the first weekend or two and then they'll be done. So there's less people around to bump into. That's a plus, especially when you're out, you know, toting guns around. And then I try to stay out of the areas where people are going to be deer hunting a whole lot. Because, you know, deer hunters have high-powered rifles, and even though I'm wearing hunter's orange, I don't trust them. But anyway, it's cooling off, so that's good. A buddy of mine up in Canada said it was already getting cold up there. Hope he's got plenty of wood chopped. Alright. Now you can't feel it. Very nice shave. Matter of fact, pretty much any razor these days is a very nice shave. Really. It's the great thing about developing your skills and your technique in this hobby. That you get to a point where you can just, you know, glue a blade on a stick and shave with it and get a really good shave. Of course, that's after you learn how to use a shavette and open blade shaving, which is a lot of fun. About time for an open blade shave too. I hadn't done that in a while. I'll break one out maybe Sunday. We'll see. If not, I'll get it next week. Alright, so we got that all cleaned up. Very nice feeling shape. These old vintage razors, I know people like the new stuff and they clamor for the new stuff, but it's not new and improved. It's the same old stuff. You know, maybe they're building it out of a different metal than they had. Whatever. People get to hollering it's durable. Well, you know, I got razors well over 100 years old that are still in good shape. So they're kind of durable as is. But, yeah, just me. I'm a vintage guy. Just a vintage guy. Alrighty, little witch hazel on here. The generic witch hazel. And we'll get our normal touch-up spots here. And I'll mention it every time, and I'll mention it again. I'm aware that the touch-up pass generally just ends up being another pass. Yeah, I'm aware. It's okay. There's no law that says it can't be. Alright, let's trim up under the goatee here. Oh yeah, nice. So there we go. I think we're going to call that a total success. Wipe off the witch hazel a little bit, although it wouldn't help to leave, wouldn't hurt, I should say, to keep the witch hazel on. And there we go with another fine shave. This time from the Star, double edge. Easy to hold on to with the handle here. The round handle is textured also. Can't think of the word I'm looking for. A texture I have to do for this. And it works very well. It's just, like I said, it's on the milder side of razors. But I don't think that's particularly a bad thing. Mild but efficient is a good way to go. It's a good thing. So we'll splash on a little bit of the Pinaud Citrus Musk. There's a little bit of sting down along the draw line there. There's a little bit already gone. So that's good stuff. Well, look, y'all have a good weekend. And hopefully I'll be back before the weekend's over with another video. If not, hope y'all doing well and where you're at, as well as I'm doing where I'm at, because, you know, life is good in the fuzzy hood. All right, y'all take it easy, and happy shaves to you.